we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have social media back in the day. So, we had VHS and we had all that old school technology, but you did what you had to do to evolve. And I remember even in junior hockey, when I was 16 to 19 years old, I watched a lot of VHF to see my opponents, to study, to learn them. And I wanted to know what they were capable of doing because I wanted to stop that from happening to me. So I think you had to be really diligent on that side and know who your opponent was and what they brought to the table, because if you didn't, you got caught off guard and you got your head kicked in. So I think being a kid and being in team sports and watching that way and being a voyeur and seeing, okay, well, if I do that, that's good. If I do that, that's bad. It's just a learning experience for the whole team instead of every individual having to go through that. The one person does it, gets yelled at. We all have to, get bag skated, and then you get back to it, but you learn.
Welcome to Start With a Win, where we give you the tools and lessons you need to create business and personal success. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Coming to you from Brand Viva Media Studios here in Denver, Colorado. It's Adam Contos with Start With a Win. Producer Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I am stoked. Stoked.
I'm excited about this show. This is a longtime friend of mine, an amazing human being, one hell of a leader, athlete, and just, great, intense person with a lot of conviction and life in him.
Are you talking about Scott Parker?
I am. The sheriff.
The former professional ice hockey right winger who played for the San Jose Sharks and our very own Colorado Avalanche in the NHL. Scott earned his nickname, the Sheriff, from his reputation as a feared fighter and enforcer. In 2006, Scott Parker and his wife, Francesca, started a charity called Parker's Platoon. Parker's Platoon is dedicated to helping military veterans, thank you, and retired professional athletes who deal with PTSD and traumatic brain and body injuries. Scott, welcome to Start With a Win. Love that you're here.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Let's get right into this hockey thing because the Stanley Cup finals are going on right now. You played for the Avalanche when they won the cup the last time, 2001. And I'll tell you what, man, it's been a little while, but tell me about, how did you get into professional hockey?
Hockey, honestly, I was born in California. I grew up in Alaska. When I was 6 years old, my dad transferred from California to Alaska with his job being a federal game warden, and brought home a piece of paper when I was in, I believe, second or third grade. It said, learn how to play hockey. And I didn't even know what hockey was. So I took it to mom and pa back home, and they were like, well, what's this? So that's how it basically started. Knew nothing about it. The whole family got skates. We went and skated. There was rinks all over Alaska. So that opportunity was pretty amazing. So it just kind of started there and just, took off. And obviously there was ups and downs when I was little, growth spurts and, trying to get gear. And I always loved hockey. It was a team sport. I love team concept. Everybody does what they do and you get the job done. There's just something about that always sparked me as a kid. And I think the enforcer role really took off when I was in juniors, when I was younger, and we lost our two enforcers. They taught me a lot before they left the sport or left the game, but it was, a do or die situation. So I just said, you know what, I'll step up. I'm tired of watching my guys get beat up and there's nobody doing this role. So let me step in and see how, what can happen. And it kind of spiraled, took off. I got my head kicked in a few times early, but those learning lessons, even that fight against Bob Probert in the NHL, everybody went after me about that, but it's a learning lesson. And I learned what not to do against guys like that because you're fighting men when you get to that level. The speed at every level is huge and you don't realize it until you get sent down. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm the fastest guy on the ice and I'm the heaviest and I'm the biggest. Like, this isn't right. But it's amazing to see the progression of the speed and, like you said, the accuracy and everything at those levels, that it doesn't get any easier. You have to really raise the bar and you have to step into that and not be a hindrance. You have to bring something to the game or you get sent back down or you get washed. So
how does, you win some, you lose some. Obviously, you lose a lot more than you win in life. and you learn every single time. But you're able to, and this is one thing I've noticed about professional athletes. Everybody's watching everything and they're learning from it all the time. It's interesting. How do you develop that mindset? Or does it just kind of come through the pressures of performing for your team? I mean, help me understand, how do you become that way?
I think it's just, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have social media back in the day. So, we had VHS and we had all that old school technology, but you did what you had to do to evolve. And I remember even in junior hockey, when I was 16 to 19 years old, I watched a lot of VHF to see my opponents, to study, to learn them. I think being a kid and being in team sports and watching that way and being a voyeur and seeing, okay, well, if I do that, that's good. If I do that, that's bad. And then it's just a learning experience for the whole team instead of every individual having to go through that. The one person does it, gets yelled at. We all have to, get bag skated, and then you get back to it, but you learn. So, that's what the whole team mentality is all about, I believe. And, just being there and getting the job done.
I want to talk a little bit about this enforcer role. Tell me, what was the mindset when you hit the ice, and how did the team use you in order to keep things on the game and regulated that way? Because there are the rules, and then there's the feeling of the sport, which your job was to keep it going.
Yeah, there's the rules and then the unwritten rules. And it's kind of the big brother mentality, though. I mean, it's kind of like, you do that to my guy, I do it to your guy, and I'll raise the bar, and you're not going to like what I do. But it's amazing how mental the sport is. I mean, I'd say it's probably 80% mental and 20 physical, because when you can beak at somebody or you can shut them down, with just vocals, it's amazing to see them hold up or, slow down or maybe not make that play that crisp and good. And if you get in their mind, then everything else falters. So it's amazing how many times back in the day where you could just go to a bench and be like, I'm going to break your leg, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to run you over. And it's just, you plant that seed, and then they're thinking about you, and they're not thinking about Peter Forsberg scoring 3 goals or, Joe Sakic doing what he does. I mean, you kind of take that on, and you take that, like you're the punching bag.
Let's touch on the Stanley Cup finals going on right now. Avalanche. Oh, there you go. The cup, the
Stanley
tattoo
Cup.
of the cup.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
Is.
Right on.
2 years ago.
Your name is forever there.
So, it is, but it's not mine to keep.
There you go. Yeah, it's earned every year, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, tell us your perspective on what you're seeing right now and what we should be thinking about. Look at that.
Have Colts, baby.
There you go. Yeah, what do you think about what's going on?
Honestly, I love it. It's good to see. Like to see the Avs in it. I know the past couple of years in the second rounds they've kind of faltered, but it's good to see guys step up, and that's where it really takes. I remember the year we won, Peter Forsberg was out because he lost his spleen. So Alex Tanguay, Chris Drury, Milan Hajduk, there was guys that stood up and stepped up and said, hey, this, that guy's out, so let's do that much more. So that's what you need at this time of the year, because guys aren't 100%. If you are 100%, you're not playing right. So everybody's injured, everybody's tired, but they're playing at the highest level they can, because that pinnacle of that 35-pound trophy is almost at their grasp. It's just good to see that it was a close game. Everybody's like, oh, I want a blowout. No, I want a close game, because they're fighting, and you never know that next goal. I mean, 48 seconds, there's 2 goals last night. So in less than a minute, things can change. And you saw the momentum of, we call it tilting the ice. So you're skating downhill when everything's going good. When the other team changes the momentum, you're skating uphill, and it's that much harder to get passes. And it's amazing that little bit can make that big of a difference.
Wow. And for a lot of people, I'm not a hockey player, but I felt that in life in different things. So that's a great analogy, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. What kind of, do you want to give a prediction on here? What do you think, and how many games, and who's going to take it?
I remember the year we won, we went 7 with Jersey in the last round. So I just want to see a hard-fought series. I want to see guys step up. I want to see guys that never really got on the scoreboard, be a part of that, because, this is the finals. There's 3 more games that the Avs need, and obviously Tampa needs 4. So you need 16 to win. This was our saying back in the day, was mission 16. So this was for Ray Bork, and basically you need 4 wins around, 16 total. And that's the mentality, is getting to that 16 wins.
Quick question. You've implemented so many leadership lessons. Give us a good leadership lesson that you've implemented in running your nonprofit and from your sports leadership time.
I think a big part of the leadership is just being a teammate and having those options. Not everybody likes one certain direction. So it's really nice to have options, and it's really good to, I guess, just be a good listener and just really listen and hear what people need. I think we've learned a lot with our charity throughout the years, and just sitting there and just letting the veterans vent. A lot of the stuff's just getting it out there, and once they're able to talk about it, then they're able to release that burden. And it's amazing. You can almost see it instantaneously happen too when they're actually talking to you about it. And I think that's a huge part of leadership, is just listening and just really being able to take that information in and making giving the best options, for that person that's bringing that issue to you. So, I think the people that are quiet in the back, you really have to watch the most, than the people that are in the front, just speaking or having all the words. It's the people back listening that really, I think do a lot more than the people just speaking.
So true. So true. Thank you, Scott. I mean, it's being an active listener, being aware is so incredibly important in leadership. And thanks for bringing that to light to us from your experiences. Scott, I have a question I ask all the amazing guests on Start With a Win, and that is, how do you start your day with a win?
Honestly, every day. My wife's an early riser, so she's usually up by the time I'm up, but I literally make my bed. I think doing something positive like that and starting out your day, doing that, I'm able to come upstairs, have coffee. I'm able to spend my morning with my amazing family, Francesca and DJ, and our little service dog, Rue. It's just nice to be able to have that family mentality and know that you have people in your corner that get your back every single day.
Awesome. Scott Parker, Stanley Cup champion, amazing individual, contributor to society, and the founder of Parker's Platoon. Check him out at parkersplatoon.org. Scott, brother, thanks for being on Start With a Win.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam, and thank you for your service. Thank you for Dave Lineker and everything you guys do. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, man.
Are you wondering how to grow your business? It might be something you're missing, and it's not sales, and it's not marketing. I'll tell you that right now. It's something most people don't even think about, and that's leadership, okay? Whether you're leading yourself or a team, leadership is the key for next level growth, and you're in luck because Adam has put together 3 of the techniques and ideas he used as the CEO of RE/MAX to develop himself and his leaders to produce amazing growth and results. If you want to download these 3 keys, head over to adamcontos.com/leadership and get those. So until next time, remember, start with a win.
Man, that was some gold nuggets there, Scott. Thank you for
That was awesome, guys.
sharing
Heck
that.
yeah.
That's good. So
Uh-huh.
we're on our YouTube
That's right.
show
this
now.
is the show after the show. Woo! The
Right
party
on.
after
YouTube,
the party. Yeah, that's right. Scott, my cousin Christopher, he texted me. I said I was going to be on with you today. He's a huge Avs fan, a huge hockey fan. He loves hockey. He still plays and he coaches little kids and stuff. He lives out in Austin now, but
That's awesome.
he said, send him a thank you for his service to Colorado. He was the grit our team needed.
I love that.
So Christopher Robe, shout out, my cousin.
Thanks, Christopher. Appreciate you, brother.
Scott, I have a question. Was there a moment when you were kind of developing as a hockey player as a kid, like that you wanted to give up, or that you felt like, oh, this is too hard? One of the things that stood out to me that you were talking about earlier on the podcast was this idea is that every time, like you may have been awesome, right, in Pee Wee or whatever, and then the next time you leveled up, you start playing with other players who are leveled up, and then by the time you get to NHL, you're like playing with elite people, and it's like, man, I can't just rest on my laurels of being big and strong and good in college. Now I gotta, level up to this next level. Is there any moment when you were kind of having to, oh gosh, now I gotta push myself to the next level, that you felt like, you wanted to give up, or what was your mentality or mindset to kind of keep you going?
I don't know if there was ever a give up moment. It was really just when I broke into the show, I was basically 20 years old, and I'm fighting guys that are 10, 15 years older than me.
The old man strength.
Yeah, you got that caginess, you got that farm boy strong. You grab a hold of them, you're like, what did I do? And in juniors, you're 16 to 20, so the age differential isn't as great as when you get to the show. So I think that was the biggest, difference to me was like, oh my God, I'm fighting men. I was a kid fighting men. And, I don't think there was ever a give up moment, because my mentality from juniors was, fight and just do my job and just keep moving. Just like little Dory, just keep swimming, keep swimming.
There you go.
It was just, I just kept going and just kept advancing. And I knew that it was a more speed, and I knew it was faster and crisper passes. So I just had to work that much harder in practice. And luckily with Brian Trottier back in the day, our assistant coach, he worked endless days with me on that, just getting faster hands, faster feet. And it was really the difference. And like I said, even on the podcast, we didn't have YouTube, or we didn't have social media back in the day, unfortunately. But, you had to learn on the fly, or you had to have VHS, or you had to just talk to people. I mean, it was, that was back in the day when you had to talk to people.
Yeah, it was like learning, essentially. It's like learning and growing.
Exactly.
And however you had to do that within your environment, that's what you did.
Yep. You had to advance, and you had to raise the bar, and you had to reach out to get the job done.
Scott, thanks so much for being on Start With a Win with us.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. It was a great day, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, brother.
Thank
Go
you.
Avalanche.
That's right.
Hell yeah. Hey, come on, boys.
Thank you so much for sticking around for the show after the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up icon, because that will show this video to more people, as well as if you hit that bell icon. There's so many icons you have to hit, but if you hit that bell icon, you'll get notified every single time a new episode drops, and we'd love to communicate with you and hang out. So, hey, until next time, we'll see you when we see you.